Good morning, folks. I am not playing the opening sequence yet. I will do that at the top of the hour. I want to use this time to A, get some things off my chest, and B, invite the fans to come up for the better part of a half hour. You know, it's interesting. When you question the integrity of one person that's supposed to be your friend and they respond the way that they respond, and y'all know who I'm talking about, saying that I bit off of him. Normally, that wouldn't bother me. But I got to tell y'all something. It bothered the hell out of me. And why did it bother the hell out of me? Because for a time this past weekend, it made me question what the fuck am I doing? It really did. Now I'm making sure this doesn't make it into the morning sequence, the regular sequence or things like that. And I talked to Victor, I talked to Cole, I talked to quite a few other people, my wife included. If there's something I take very seriously, if there are a few things I take very seriously, it's the love for my family, it's what I'm doing for my family, and it's the love for what I'm doing. And to have this, I don't want to resort to name calling. I really don't want to resort to name calling. I don't. But to have this ignorant motherfucker question what I do, and I let him get to me. I absolutely let him get to me because for him to say that I bit off of him, in 4 words, that pissed me off. It flat out emphatically pissed me off. And it stayed with me all weekend. It should not have. I know that. But it stayed with me all weekend. Right up until this morning when I didn't feel well at all physically. But I promised myself I would not start missing shows for any reason. And if there is a reason, I better be on my deathbed. Well, I ain't on my deathbed yet. In fact, a year ago, tomorrow, officially, I had surgery to get rid of the reason I should have been on my deathbed. And I know I'm going to be jumping all over the place. But damn it. I say to myself all the time, damn if I wouldn't let someone get in my head. Well, these motherfuckers got in my head. And forget my French, but I'm letting it all hang out before I start anything because I want to get it off my chest. I want to get it out of my stomach. And I want to get it done. And this is my fault for letting these motherfuckers penetrate my mind the way that they do. But they call into question what I do for a living. They call into question how I handle things. And in some cases, that question needs to be asked. I will say it loudly and I'll say it proudly. And it's something I'm still dealing with to this day. And I will continue to deal with it. But for them to say that my hard work has not paid off, for them to say this show has no spice, for them to say, and I say, and yeah, it's them. It's multiple people. It's multiple people that are coming after me. Well, as the saying goes, if you come for the king, you better not miss, God damn it. Because if you miss, you will get struck down hard. And I want to thank the folks that have tuned in early. And I want to thank the people that have stuck with me, and I want to thank the people that are stuck with Cole. And here's the thing that really pissed me off, or one of the things that really pissed me off when he said, no, when they said that Cole is the reason I have a show now. Like I didn't start this 9 years ago with a computer, a mixer, and a headset microphone and built it from there. Really? Really, you stupid ass? And like I said, y'all know the troll who I speak of, or trolls who I speak of, and I'm not going to mention their name because it would just make me angrier. But y'all know who I speak of. Yeah, they took a piece. They took a piece of me and questioned it, and it pissed me off. That's why I'm getting it off my chest now. And yes, Hawk TV, you're right. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And that's something I had to that's something I had to realize. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I do plan to have Ryan McCarthy on as scheduled. I do plan to have Jay Spivey on as scheduled. I'm just starting late because I didn't feel good this morning, but I didn't want to miss any time either. But I wanted to do this. All I did was question an individual's journalistic integrity. And I also said that this dude was very talented. But I also said, if y'all remember Friday during my Snowman's take, that he's letting his fandom interfere with his talent. I also said that his fandom isn't interfering with his journalistic integrity. And then this sumbitch had the nerve to send me a video that says he's not a traditional journalist. That's fine. That's fine. But to say you do this for the people in the trenches, are you crazy? Do you know what the people in the trenches are about? Do you even have an idea what the people in the trenches are about? Do you even care? Do you even care what the people in the trenches are about? And the answer to all that is no. To clean myself off of this, to wash my hands of this, is why I came on early. And this will not make the final. Trust me when I tell you, this will not make the final cut. That's why I didn't play the opening sequence. You know, it's something Victor said to me Friday while I was driving and so pissed off there was steam coming from my ears. And I'll repeat it here. He's not a journalist at all. And the worst thing you can do for people in the trenches is misinform them. Ain't that the fucking truth? I may be a fan of some of the teams and players that I'm a fan of, but damn it, I am not going to let integrity slide out the window. Yes, my favorite player is Michael Jordan. Yes, I believe Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time, but I'm not going to discredit those who came before him. You know, what's the intro to Bronze Sexual Confession say every Wednesday? There is no end in sight. And that's only a part of the problem. That's only a part of the problem. I hate people that gloss over the facts. Okay? I always acknowledge the facts first and foremost before my fandom does anything else. I promised myself I wouldn't resort to name calling, and unfortunately, I broke that promise earlier with what I said, and I apologize for that. But I am sick and tired. I am sick and damn tired of people questioning me, questioning my team, and having the absolute unmitigated gall to say that I don't know what I'm doing. which in many veiled instances is exactly what he said. And a lot of people have said that over the years. So I took it internally and I got better. But I don't know why this past Friday it pissed me off to the point where I am doing a pre-show ahead of time, but I am. Because if I don't get this off my chest now, if I don't say what I need to say now and couple it with what I said Friday, then it will fester. And the last thing I need on the eve of a very important anniversary is to have anything festering. And I'm not going through that again. I went through it last year when I found out I had pancreatic cancer. Actually, 2 years ago when I had pancreatic cancer, I let it fester, especially when Duke University Hospital told me there was no hope, told my wife there was no hope, actually told my wife to prepare to put me in a goddamn box. Duke University Hospital told my wife to get her affairs in order and that the tumor that I had was inoperable. I was just reading a memory on Facebook. We came up here with no hope, and she's right. Jody's absolutely right. So having all that festered all weekend, even in the midst of LSU beating Iowa in the women's national championship game, even in the midst of Lamont Butler's buzzer beater for San Diego State, even in the midst of UConn delivering another titanic, dominating performance on their way to the national championship game tonight. And this is the thing that festered with me all weekend, and it pissed me off. So as I said, I'm getting this out now because when the top of the hour, when the top of the hour hits, it's time for business. Lots of business. But I can't let this happen again. I can't let this fester the way that it has festered. To call my professionalism into question, to say that I don't have enough spice on my program. Listen, you stupid motherfucker. How many people tune into your show and how many people tune into mine? You want to talk numbers? Let's talk numbers. You know how long it took me to get over 500 subscribers? Do I want more than that? Fuck yeah, I do. You even expressed it to me yourself of what you wanted to do, and I'm encouraging you to go after it. But you are not going to do that at the expense of me and my team. Do you understand that? I let you stay in my head all weekend, and that's a big ass mistake on my part. I have to get my head back in the game. And me having my head back in the game does not involve your punk ass. Or let me pluralize that, your punk asses. I let y'all fester long enough. Way too fucking long. And I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm pissed. But I'm focused. I finally took my own advice and I got mad. I'm not mad to the point of tears. Thank the Lord for that, because I would be a blithering mess right now. So I figure I'll take the time this morning or however mornings it take to get this off my chest. Because as I said a couple of times before, I am tired. I am tired. And the other thing that got my attention, and it shouldn't have got my attention. Thank you, Vincent David Jackson, for your support. It shouldn't have got my attention, but it got my attention when he did a video with the title. I'm not even going to mention the title because I haven't mentioned him, but y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not even going to mention the title and bring any shine to him or his. I'll let it out. Stupid assness. I am done competing. My team is done competing. Right now, the only competition we have is with ourselves because we intend to blow the competition away. Whoever gets in the way is going to get run the fuck over. Anyone don't believe me? Try me. Because I am that pissed off right now. But I'm not pissed off to the point to let my product suffer. I've done it for too many years to let my product suffer because of something very, very personal. But when someone calls what I do not having enough spice, not doing it the right way, and any other thing. Let me get Victor up here for a few minutes. Matter of fact, anybody that wants to come on up and express themselves, we got about 12 minutes. We got about 12 minutes. So if you want to come up, come on up. I'll invite y'all up. I haven't done this in a while. But I'm getting this out now. So when I send everybody back and I push the button to start the show at the top of the hour, it's all business. I told a friend of mine I wouldn't go on this morning, that I was going to rest. That's a fucking excuse. I know what I need to do. What's up, Victor?
What's up?
Do me a favor before I really cuss my brains out. Please tell these people what this dumbass said.
Where do I begin?
Pick a spot. We got 11 minutes. Pick a spot.
Well, first and foremost, he explained how your show wouldn't be anything without Cole. Cole made it better. Let's be real. He's an EP genius.
Yes,
which is the reason why.
That's why I brought him on as my EP.
Exactly. So it's one thing for him to jump at that, but then he talked about how you bit him. Who changed their name to a church? Who changed the name of their show to a church?
And misspelled a word in it purposely.
That's not even biting off him. That's biting off me because I came up with the 65th.
And biting off of Cole's genius who visualized it.
Exactly. But
how the fuck did I bite off of him?
How? It's neither here nor there. And I put this in. When did you first start this journey? I'm talking about sports section. If we want to get technical with it, you started sports section when?
We started a sports section in the 90s.
Exactly.
What's up,
you started sports section in the 90s. And now you got some Johnny Come lately coming to say that you bit off him when you've been starting this since I think 95, if I'm correct.
My first year, 1995. My first year. I didn't have a full hour show until summer of 96 when the Olympics were going on in Atlanta. But I bit off of him? How?
But that's the thing, is that he's saying you bit off of him when you started in 95. I'm pretty sure he didn't start this till very recently.
Like a few months ago.
Oh, like you wouldn't be asking for so much advice.
And he's asked me for so much advice. But my little spider senses went off and said, don't give him everything.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with this is that for him to sit there and say that he's going to take over the blog because he's starting at 9 on Mondays.
And I haven't seen
Meanwhile,
this dumbass show yet.
meanwhile, you guys do this show every single weekday, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. So it's not like he's even in direct competition with you. It's just weird to me how someone let their emotions get so razzled in this thing we call sports. I mean, how many times have you guys ragged on me because I'm a Cowboys fan?
But the difference is it's in good natured fun.
Right. I don't take it seriously.
It's in good natured fun.
I don't take it seriously. It's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be just us talking about sports.
I mean, how many times you and Hawk TV and A Pizzle and razz on my wife's team, the Colts, for the season that they had?
Right.
Hell, my wife razzed on the Colts. What's that tell you?
It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
But I hope after this we don't speak about that person anymore. Because anytime that we speak on him, he's gonna take it as a victory.
This is why I did this now before I pushed the button for the opening sequence. I wanted this off my chest and out of my heart.
Because all it'll be is just a win for him. And he don't need no more wins.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He does not need any more wins, any more things he can hold over you or anybody else. I mean, I'm not really a content creator myself. I'm just a sports fan. That's why I'm here.
Not a content creator. Don't you tell that lie.
I have not put a podcast to my name yet.
Give me a few days. I'll fix that.
No, Lord.
I know, Wise, we're wasting time, but I want this out my system. Wise, I know. But
Yeah,
I want this out of my system. It festered for too long and it's my fault.
yeah.
Let me put the New York accent behind it. Fault.
Yeah. We got to listen to the conscience.
It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. How many times do I have to say it? I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, and it's true. It's my fault. I let it fester for as long as it did. Like I said, normally I don't. I let this roll off my chest, but for some reason, this past weekend, it irked me.
Because again, it's someone who doesn't have the same experience as you, doesn't really have the same talent as you, trying to take your spot, but also trying to admonish you for how you do things.
Yeah. And
And
I'll read Wise's statement again. Wasting time even having this damn conversation. You are right, Wise.
yeah,
You are right.
that's
But
what I
if
said.
I didn't get this off my chest now, if I didn't do this now before I push the button to start everything, then it's going to continue to fester, and I'm not going to operate that way anymore.
Yeah, you can't keep going. You can't keep operating angry.
No, I can't.
You cannot keep operating angry.
I've been angry all weekend.
Right. Because the more you operate angry, it's going to take you off your game, which your game should be moving Snowman in the Morning, the Brian Snow Show, and every show and all shows in between to that next level.
And I'm not doing, and nothing of that sort is being done talking about this fool. So I'm shutting this down. I'm putting the screen back up, and I'll see y'all in 6 minutes.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning, Kevin Durant. You should have left California.
This Bronxsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah! Let's roll! Time to get this started. Good morning! Welcome to the Manic Monday edition, and it is certainly that, of Snowman in the Morning. Lots to get to over the course of the next couple of hours. Sorry I'm late, but, well, I'm not even going to explain why. If you were here for the pre-show, then you already understand part of it. The other part, I just wasn't feeling good, but I told myself I would get better. And let's get right to it, shall we? The national championship is tonight. And it's San Diego State and UConn? Wait, wait. Hold up. San Diego State and Connecticut for all the marbles tonight in Houston. Thanks to Lamont Butler for San Diego State hitting an 18-foot buzzer beater a la Chris Jenkins 7 years ago for Villanova in the same building. Which led San Diego State to a 72-71 miraculous comeback victory over the darlings of the NCAA tournament in Florida Atlantic, and sets up a date tonight with the almighty Connecticut Huskies. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad I did not do a bracket, because I can honestly tell you, I did not expect Connecticut or San Diego State to be in the national championship game. My original national championship game was Houston and Texas until the draw came out and they were in the same dance. And you're right, A-Pizzle, Florida Atlantic will be back. I expect them to be back. They're going to get a ton of money to improve their facilities, to improve their recruiting, and get right back to the Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona. But Adema Sanogo, 21 points for Connecticut, and they smashed Miami 72-59. And they will face the Aztecs. Yes, the Aztecs of San Diego State, which I mentioned had a buzzer beater from Lamont Butler. Holy cow. And if you watched that game on Saturday, if you watched that game from start to finish for 37 and a half minutes, it was all Florida Atlantic. Especially in the first half. They went up by as many as 10, led by 10 at the half. And for the first time since the Maui tournament, San Diego State allowed 40 points and a half. But that stingy Aztec defense gave up only 31 points in the second half. 31. What can you say about that San Diego State defense, which rose to the occasion in the second half? This is why it's a 40-minute game, and this is why San Diego State's length outdueled Florida Atlantic's length. What Miami did to Texas is what San Diego State did to Florida Atlantic. They got them in foul trouble. They made their hay from the free throw line, but it was a hell of a game. Florida Atlantic and San Diego State was the game of the weekend. It was the game of the weekend, aside of Friday night with Iowa taking down South Carolina. I'll touch that next segment. But this is why March Madness is a part of the greatest time of the year. This is why the NCAA tournament, both men's and women's, is the greatest time of the year, because you don't know who's going to get through to the Final Four, and you don't know who is going to play whom. Let me ask y'all a question. Who actually had, if you did a bracket, because I admit I did not do one for this unpredictability reason, I did not do a bracket. If you did a bracket, did you have either Florida Atlantic or San Diego State in your Final Four in Houston? I can honestly tell you the bracket I did in my head had neither of them. It had none of these four teams. Well, Houston and Texas were going to cancel each other out because they wound up being in the same damn region. And I expected Houston and Texas to play in the Final Four. I wanted an all Texas Final Four. That wasn't going to happen. I knew Purdue was going to bite the dust. And Purdue lost in the first round to a 16 seed, which should tell you why you should never put Purdue as a number one seed. Hell, if anything indicates that Purdue did not belong as a number one seed, I point to one game and one game only. Purdue lost to Northwestern. And Purdue was number one at the time. Purdue lost by 6 points to the Northwestern Wildcats. That should have told you right there Purdue didn't deserve to be a number one seed. And part of me wants to say that neither did Houston. Matter of fact, none of the number one seeds didn't deserve to be a number one. None of them. For the reasons that you are seeing this national championship game tonight at NRG Stadium in Houston. And A Pizzle and I are going to team up and do a live stream of that game. I believe it's a 9:10 tip-off, which means I better get a nap before I do this. But I can tell you, in my mind's eye, I had neither San Diego State, nor Miami, nor Florida Atlantic, nor Connecticut get into the Final Four. If I could pick a team, if I could pick a team that I blindly put in the Final Four, it was Houston. But then Houston bit the dust. And this is not the first time Houston, as a high seed, bit the dust. Anybody remember 2018? Anybody remember 2018? When they lost on a buzzer beater to Jordan Poole, yes, that Jordan Poole, and Michigan. Anybody remember Loyola 5 years ago, getting to the Final Four in San Antonio? And I had a chance to go to the Final Four in San Antonio, and I didn't take it. And I had many, many reasons why I didn't take it. But this is going to be a hell of a championship game. You have to look at the length of Connecticut, and I'm talking about in terms of height and wingspan, to slow down San Diego State. My national champion tonight is Connecticut. But then again, Lamont Butler may pull off another buzzer beater like Chris Jenkins did for the national championship 7 years ago in that building. When Villanova, I was about to say Virginia, beat North Carolina. When Villanova beat North Carolina at the Horn. At the Horn. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it then. I don't believe it now, but it's going to come down to the final possessions tonight. Unless Connecticut goes on one of those incredible runs that they've done all tournament long. And who expected Connecticut to get this far? I don't even want to talk X's and O's. I'm talking about pure, unadulterated, unexpected Final Four run, championship run. But when have we not heard this with UConn? Let's go back to 1999. Who expected UConn to take down mighty Duke and Trajan Langdon in St. Petersburg? I sure didn't, but I picked them anyway. And I won. I won that pool. And the only other one I won before that was 1997, when Arizona beat 3 number 1 seeds to win the national championship. And if I remember correctly, somebody get me if I'm wrong, the 3 number 1 seeds that Arizona beat to win the title were Kansas, North Carolina, and Kentucky. And they had to go to overtime with Kentucky. They won that 84-79, and that was at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. But I believe those were the 3 number 1 seeds that Lute Olson, the late, great Lute Olson, and the Arizona Wildcats took down to win it all. It's going to be a hell of a championship game tonight. Who do you have? That's our Fanatics Feedback Zone question of the day. Who is your national champion tonight? Do you have San Diego State or do you have Connecticut? Either way, it's an unexpected champion, but it'll be a champion nonetheless.
And to knock a man because he makes $1,000 a week? Oh, y'all need to get over yourselves, ladies. This is ridiculous. Because some of y'all not even making $1,000 a week. No, we're more than working hard, and there's so much more to us. And if you would really sit down and get to know a man, then you would see this. But y'all want to continue to put a value on what we do, or dollar value. Please stop it. Get over yourselves. Because some of y'all not bringing in 500 a week. So what the y'all talking about? Get over it. And that's all I got to say for this week. And oh yeah, Boston. That's the Yankee fan in me.
Oh, baby. You want another great episode of Mentality? Today, 2 p.m., 1 p.m. Eastern on Comey Media Inc., 8/7 Central on Real Wise TV, and 9/8 Central on Snowman Multimedia. Mentality. Catch the television replay Thursday, 5 Eastern, 4 Central on BS3 and Roku. Wise El Jefe. What can you do? What can you do? Ryan McCoffey coming at the bottom of the hour. I'm about to say top of the hour. What is wrong with me? I need a break. LSU wins the women's national championship, and yet it is Angel Reese that got all the attention for throwing something back at Caitlin Clark, who threw something at another team. Is it classless? Or is it championship celebration? We'll discuss when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. Four men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
I don't know why I love that so much, but I do. I do. 20 after the hour. Ryan McCoffey will join us in a little bit. But I want to touch something. First of all, the LSU Lady Tigers. Congratulations to them. Just a minute here. I'm doing 100 things. I'm doing 100 things at once. There we go. Now that I'm back, kind of, sort of, maybe. There we are. Congratulations to the LSU Lady Tigers winning LSU's first basketball national championship. And a piece of breaking news from the Shady Sports Network, Philip Lindsay, a two-time 1,000-yard rusher in the NFL, signs with the Seattle Sea Dragons of the XFL. Damn. That's gonna be interesting. Let me get to this. So Caitlin Clark does the "you can't see me" wave after Iowa beats South Carolina, and then Angel Reese copies the move after LSU beats Iowa in the national championship. Now, the prevalent thing that I saw and heard, heard. Sorry. Thank you, Victor Borga. Is that when Angel Reese did it to Caitlin Clark, it was classless. And when Caitlin Clark did it to Aaliyah Boston in South Carolina, it was courageous. I think that was one of the terms that I heard. I say both of them are wrong. It was the heat of the moment for both of them. And in Angel Reese's case, she also pointed at her ring finger because LSU got the job done. By the way, scored a record 102 points in the national championship game. Only the second team in NCAA tournament history, men or women, to score 100 points in the national championship game. You know who the first one was? That's my trivia question. Back to this. Listen, quit trying to take emotion out of the game, will you please? Quit trying to take emotion out of the game. And quit trying to make it I'll go there. Quit trying to make it a black and white situation, okay? Caitlin Clark did it to South Carolina, and it was termed one thing. But when Angel Reese does it to Iowa in the game that counts, not to say Caitlin's Clark gesture in the game where she did it didn't count either, because it did. It got Iowa past South Carolina, the defending national champions, undefeated, and got them to the title game. But Angel Reese just happened to copy the gesture when LSU won it all. Listen to me. Quit trying to take emotion out of the game, because this was about as emotional as it gets. I don't care what they say about Caitlin Clark doing the "you can't see me" wave or Angel Reese doing the "you can't see me" wave. The only difference is Angel Reese did it in the game that counts the most. Those are the words I should have added. Angel Reese did it in the game that counts the most and pointed to her ring finger, which means I'm getting a ring and you're not. We were better than you. We beat you by 17. And we're the national champions. Kim Mulkey in her second season deserves all the credit in the world for turning an LSU team around and turning them into national champions. Iowa will be back. Don't get it twisted. Because we just saw two generational talents fight it out for the national championship yesterday in Dallas, which should have been in Cowboys Stadium, but that's a discussion for another time, and I digress. Quit trying to take emotion and taunts out of the game, because one of the more recent incidents was Jose Bautista's bat flip, which a lot of people call classless. But think about the situation. It's Game 5 of the American League Division Series, and Bautista just hit a home run to put Toronto in front. You think he's not excited for that? You think he's not excited that he got a hold of one from Dyson and croaked it in the left field? Same applies yesterday. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were two of the best players in women's college basketball, and they duked it out for the national championship. And even though Caitlin Clark scored 30 in a losing effort, okay, there's your four key words. In a losing effort. Angel Reese had her 34th double-double of the year. 34. In a 39-game season. In 39 games, Angel Reese had a double-double 34 times, including the biggest one of them all, the national championship. You think Angel Reese wasn't paying attention to what Caitlin Clark did to South Carolina? And Angel Reese basically said, back at you. Hey, y'all want to call it classless? The people that are in the higher ups want to call it classless? Shut up. Just shut up. Quit trying to take emotion out of the game. Will you please? And besides, if I remember correctly, Angel Reese paid a little homage to Caitlin Clark in talking about her during her post-game interview. Nah. Let me say it again. Nah. Fool. Not my fault that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark played for the national championship. Not our fault they put on one hell of a game. And to answer the trivia question, the only other team, men or women, to score 100 points in the national championship game? I won't drop the answer yet, but I'll give you a hint to the year. 1990. That should give you the answer right there. But what team have you seen in women's basketball in a national championship game? I'm not talking about the Pat Summitt years at Tennessee where they were like the Boston Celtics of the 60s, putting up 100 points every chance they got. But will we ever see a women's basketball team put up 102 points in a national championship game? Forget all the other rounds. In a national championship game, they get 102 points. That alone should tell you that women's basketball, I believe, is trending in the right direction. Up. The emotion all throughout the game. The emotion from Caitlin Clark on Friday and Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers on Sunday, winning the national championship. Think how big that is. Winning the national championship. I say go ahead and do every gesture you can think of because you won the game that counted the most. And y'all are going to turn it into a black and white issue because of a little bit of emotion? You people are crazy. I loved every single minute of it. And if I'm called classless because of it, so be it. But I loved every minute of it. Quit moving. Doggone microphone. I'm still fighting equipment here. They paid attention. LSU paid attention. LSU got the job done. Period. Point blank. End of story. Matter of fact, this is what LSU did to Iowa. And for all of you that thought that Angel Reese's gesture, which was a copy of Caitlin Clark, was a classless gesture.
You're fired.
And that is that. Take a break. When we come back, Ryan McCoffey will join me. A little late, but he'll join me. And we're going to talk a little football. Maybe. Back in a minute.
This is Brett, and you're watching Shady Sports Network. Tune in, hit that like button.
You might wonder, what do these guys do? Player signing announcements. I never in a million years thought you would actually come on to break this news. So without further ado, go ahead and tell everybody what happened today.
Yeah, man. I just had a workout with the Cincinnati Bengals. And, signing me right out.
Without further ado, I'd like to announce that, I'll be taking my talents to Salina Liberty.
This just in. The Major League of Football is reportedly collapsing, unable to pay hotel room bills, with players being kicked out of their rooms and hotel managers asking them to leave voluntarily without issue.
And then we got Lions wide receiver Williams is debuting this week as a starter. That's something to look at as far as the eye test goes. And then another one on the eye test is Mostert. It might be coming back to Miami. And we can see if he has a role in this offense and see if he can be viable for the next couple weeks coming and help us in the playoffs and possibly towards a championship. That would be very nice because he's sitting on my bench right now.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
That's why we here on this platform.
Marriage, a loving splendor, a daily grind. Such is the case when Damien and Jamie get together and chop it up, for marriage is real.
Let's just lay it all out here. Let's just be real with it.
Join this wonderful couple who keeps it real and always in love. BS3 Network proudly presents Marriage is Real, where love is the only thing that matters. Live every Tuesday at 8:30 Central. Oh, and Jamie has something to say.
Deuces and trays.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Don't ask. Okay? Just don't ask. That happened live. I swear to God, that happened live. Oh, Lordy. That happened live. All right. Let's get moving. This coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out. And now presented by Invader Coffee, Ryan McCoffey, a.k.a. Ryan McCarthy, is in the house with us. Good morning, my man.
Morning.
Sorry I'm late, but yeah, very, very late morning. What's a brew?
It's okay. Oh, Invader Coffee, of course.
Well, what kind of Invader Coffee, dude? What's the brew?
It's the Day of the Dead Mexican blend.
So we're going Mexican blend today. All right, Victor posed a question in the chat, and I know we can spend a couple of hours on this, but you already saw the question, didn't you?
I saw the question.
Where do we start?
I will take a noodle armed Chad Pennington over Zach Wilson.
He said noodle armed. There's no
dead,
lion.
Dead armed Chad Pennington. Oh my gosh. Respect to Chad Pennington, by the way.
Yes, much.
Dearly beloved New York Jets legend quarterback. Should have taken that team to a Super Bowl. At least one Super Bowl in that 2000s era with Herman Edwards. Should have done
at least one.
At least one.
Why couldn't y'all win with noodle arm Mark Sanchez, who actually beat Peyton Manning on his own turf?
Because Rex Ryan made the fatal mistake of letting him loose. After 2010, when they almost went to the Super Bowl again, Rex Ryan said, "Okay, we're going to let this kid loose," and I totally abandoned the ground and pound. And once he did that, it was
downhill from there.
Sharp decline.
Downhill from there.
Might have
I mean, twice they played Indianapolis. Twice.
Yep. Lost to him once, beat him in the wild card in 2010.
Beat him in the wild card, lost him in the AFC championship.
Then it went to New England.
Then
beat
they
New England in their house.
They beat them,
not just beat them,
smoked them,
spanked them,
spanked them.
Then they went to Pittsburgh. Then they went to Pittsburgh, fell behind.
I
think it was 24-0. 24-0, came back.
Yep.
And unfortunately just ran out of time.
This is what the Jets did to New England, which made me a few $100.
Get that belt, Pooties.
I will trust. Now I know I'm digging. I would trust a broken boned Colin Kaepernick before I trust Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
How bad is that?
That's bad.
What are y'all going to do at quarterback this year? Because
I
everything
don't know.
is supposed to be centered around Aaron Rodgers. This
is day 40 of the Aaron Rodgers watch. I feel every week since they said I want to be a New York Jet, it's been the deal's gonna be done this week. The deal's gonna get done this week. oh, the deal's going to get done this week. It's almost the draft. Get it done. Get it done. Please, just stop holding us hostage. Stop holding us fans hostage. It's all I ask. And I'm not saying it to Joe Douglas. I'm saying it to Brian, what's his face from Green Bay.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to get greedy and trying to get a first-round pick. You are not getting a first-round pick. You are not getting number 13. Please hear that. Comprehend it. We'll get 2 seconds and a conditional fourth, and maybe Corey Davis, and you'll like it, Spalding.
This is what I tell Green Bay.
Load him!
And just get the deal done. I can't believe it's gone this long since Aaron Rodgers himself lip synced. I mean, said that he wants to play for the New York Jets.
He
I don't think he said it.
He said it out loud. I just feel like they have.
He did say it out loud.
He'd said it out loud, which is the first time anyone has probably said it out loud. I want to play for the New York Jets.
And now a selection from the Wonder Bear Choir entitled, "Are You Crazy?" Somebody actually said aloud they wanted to play for the New York Jets.
Yep.
What the hell happened?
Let's see. The 2021 draft happened. That's a 2022 draft happened. That's what happened. Honestly, I think it's the 2022 draft. Every pick just seemed to hit.
Yes.
Right on the money. From Sauce Gardner.
Yep.
Jermaine Johnson. Garrett Wilson. You get two of the rookies of the year on the same team. It's only happened 3 times. And this past year happened to have it. It should have been Breece Hall. Unfortunately,
his
so
injury
it happened in Denver. But yeah, the 2022 draft happened, and things just started to come together. And now he's got a defense that's going to be, oh boy. I got you laughing. I don't know why, but
no, that's why I'm laughing right there.
Sorry, Poppy. It's gonna happen.
No, and this is why I'm laughing as well. And then on
Monday,
top of that,
Victor, it's Monday. Come on, stop cussing on Monday.
This Coffee with McCarthy is brought to you by Aaron Rodgers Vapes, providing you with that championship flavor all year round, except in January. That's why I'm laughing, because I saw that. And it just puzzles me. And nothing against the Jets, but it just puzzles me why Aaron Rodgers opened his mouth and said aloud he wants to play for the New York Jets. What?
Yeah. The Woody Johnson, Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas must have said the right things to convince him to want to come to New York. I don't know what those comments were. We'll find out. We'll find out once the trade goes through.
Was Ayahuasca involved?
I doubt it. I think Robert Saleh is one of those clean living dudes.
Yeah,
clean living dudes.
And
Joe
I don't
Douglas
think
will.
Robert
Joe Douglas
Saleh
will have a beer.
And I don't think Robert Saleh had anything to do with it. I think they kept him out of the room with the ayahuasca going wild.
Allegedly.
Kevin Wilson joins us and he says,
"Hey,
he
Kevin,"
said it and then has disappeared of late. Where is he now? In a dark room. Oh,
probably on a darkness retreat again.
You beat me to it. That's what I was thinking. I didn't say it a lot. A darkness retreat.
I suspect he'll probably be on McAfee on Wednesdays. He's usually on there on Wednesdays, I think. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
But who cares? A deal is not done. What are you doing appearing on the?
I sort of care. I mean, right now I'm focusing on the draft because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I care. I want to see a Super Bowl appearance
And you
in my
said
lifetime.
and you said sort of care.
Only because I'm half caring because I like I said last week. This is a tempered. My enthusiasm is tempered until until it goes through. Until it goes through.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, I've got a bone to pick with you and Cole.
What?
So this weekend I was on a retreat of my own, not a darkness retreat, a church men's retreat. So we were in, I set up. I was doing the arrangements for the.
Did you start laughing?
Hold on. I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So every time I was doing the arrangements for our worship set, because I was doing the slides for the songs, and every time I saw the word "king" appear in a song, in the back of my head, I heard Cole. No, sorry, not Cole. Ray say "Kang." I'm like, I started chuckling. And I started chuckling. I'm like, curse you, Cole and Snowman. Ugh. The resurrected Kang is resurrecting me. Oh, great. There you go, Cole. There's some more material for Pastor Bishop.
So you know what's coming next.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Ray LJPM. Now prove all this.
Meanwhile, Jesus is in heaven. Like, I don't support that at all. Did that come out of the building fund?
Or did that go into the building fund?
I think it came out of the building fund. I was fearing. I think I mentioned.
So you were getting set up.
I was getting set up, and we're doing the song, and all of a sudden I hear Kang instead of King. I was going to ask for the hot seat, but not this morning. Not this morning. It's a new month.
That's why I played that ad so you can get it out of your system like I did.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned in the chat a few weeks ago when they talked about the building fund. I was like, oh, in a suburban church, it's called stewardship lessons. So I was gonna thought we were getting a stewardship lesson. Great
stewardship lesson.
Oh my gosh.
Andrew back in the house with us. Victor's his brother was jumping up and down. Your brother guess was acting a fool at the men's retreat.
My king. I love you.
And now that phone number is going to play in Ryan's mind all day. Call 1-800
YO-KANG. I don't do it as good as Cole. Nobody can top Cole in that.
No one can top. I don't even try to top Cole in doing that. He voiced it perfectly. And you notice he put when he said 1-800, there was a pause.
Yes.
While you're waiting for the rest of the number to come up.
Well done. Well done.
And the way, Victor wrote the ad.
Yeah.
See, Vicala wrote the ad. And Cole visualized it, and that face you saw when you saw the phone number get ready to pop up. I could see you giggling every time the word king pops up, and you think of this.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. The resurrected Kang has resurrected me. There you go.
And Victor says, "Hey, at least you didn't hear anything about the evil creature." Stop.
I would have to summon Mr. Boom Shakalaka himself to send her back to Hades. Send that creature back to Hades. Oh.
Why? How'd she ever leave? How'd she ever get out of hell anyway? Because the
It's actually
first
fun.
time I saw, because the first time I saw that picture, and then we killed you on your vacation in North Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, Cole killed me. Somehow I got resurrected, and I'm still around.
All I can remember was you going dead, and
Dead.
we come back to you.
At least I died in a happy place.
Yes, you were on the beaches of North Carolina. But see,
my body's still there, but my soul left.
Yes, your soul left. Speaking of soul, besides Breece Hall being resurrected, what are y'all gonna do at that quarterback position?
We discussed it. I don't know why we're still on this.
Because it's funny.
Because it's a tragedy comedy. That's what it is.
Yes, there you go.
It's a tragic comedy.
Tragic comedy.
That's what the if Shakespeare wrote a play that was an epic, it would be the New York Jets franchise. That's what it would be.
Where is Joe?
And I'm a fan. I'm a lifelong fan.
I know that.
That's what kills me the
lifelong
most.
fan that hasn't seen the Super Bowl with his beloved team.
Nope. See him come close a handful of times and can never go there.
First it was John Elway in the Bill Parcells era. Then you beat Peyton Manning in his house. You roll up Tom Brady in his house.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the clothesline from hell in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And just ran out of time trying to duh.
The same situation, same thing happened with the year before. They rolled up Phil Rivers in San Diego.
You beat Phillip Rivers in San Diego.
I'm trying to remember who they beat next.
It was Indy and then San Diego.
No, they lost to Indy in the championship in 2009. They were up at halftime. They were up at halftime, 17-3. I think Braylon Edwards long touchdown, and then they just couldn't put it together in the second half.
And then all hell broke loose in the second half.
Yep.
So what do y'all do what do y'all do in the draft? Who do you see? All right, here's an impact question. And I have a few of these in mind, but then we got distracted by a certain ad.
They beat Cincinnati. First.
Cincinnati, there it is.
Because because I remember that game too, because Chad Johnson said he would change his name back to Chad Ochocinco.
Said he would change his name back to Chad Johnson.
To Chad Johnson if he got no touchdowns against Darrelle Revis. And in two consecutive weeks, the season ending, and then going to Cincinnati and beating Cincinnati at their own place.
No
Revis
touchdown.
Island was alive.
Yes, and well.
That's when Revis Island became a thing. Became Revis Island. Then they go to San Diego, beat San Diego.
Oh, y'all had no business beating San Diego. And yes, it's the San Diego Chargers, not the Los Angeles Chargers, but the San Diego Chargers.
At old Qualcomm Stadium, aka Jack Murphy Stadium.
Jack Murphy Stadium. Funny thing about Brombo, I wrote that ad with Cole's voice in mind. So what do y'all do in the draft? What do y'all do in the draft to get over the hump?
That's a great question.
How do y'all get over the hump, which right now is Patrick Mahomes,
yes,
and Kansas City, to face Brock Purdy and the 49ers? And yes, I'm putting a bold prediction out there.
They have a few holes to fill, particularly offensive line. They're still trying to figure things out there. They added some depth during the offseason. I think they'll add that kid Skaronski from Northwestern, that tackle.
Yes.
They think they put him on the left side, make Mekhi Becton go to the right side, and I think they
Becton's
drafted
better on the right. I think Becton's better on the right side.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Becton is better on the right side.
Or you bring in, because Dwayne Brown's playing the left side, and then they convinced him to stay another year. And then you put Becton on the left. Then you put Becton on the right side.
I'm sorry, you just the way you just threw that in there. Oh, they convinced him to stay another year. Eric Wallace in the house with us. Good morning, Eric. My goodness.
My other play. They probably add another defensive lineman or add another linebacker because CJ Mosley, he had a great year last year, but his coverage game is suspect at best.
Yeah.
So I think they add another linebacker to not so much add additional motivation, but to hedge as an insurance policy.
Is this a make or break year for Robert Saleh?
Yes. If they can't get the quarter, that's the one thing that the Jets. I mean, there were two positions that were key last year for the Jets that totally let them down: offensive line, and quarterback. Those are the two positions that let them down last year. They couldn't afford to have injuries at offensive line last year
because you were thin enough. You were thin enough going into the season.
They were already thin. Yeah, they were already thin going into the season.
You were thin going into the season. Y'all were thin at offensive line going into the season, and then that happened.
Yeah. And then Zach Wilson gets hurt in the preseason, and he had Joe Flacco for the first 4 weeks. And then Zach Wilson's game went to Hades in the New England game. And
did it ever survive Hades? That's what I want to. Did it ever survive Hades? I don't think it did.
Actually, come to think of it, I'm not sure because Mormons don't believe in Hades. So maybe it went to another planet.
True as you are, but I hate you for that comment. True as you are. True as you are. I hate you for that. But hey, I offer no argument. I know quite a few Mormons. I offer no argument.
And they're lovely people. Let's not get twisted here. They're lovely people.
Yeah, they are.
And they put on a great musical too. I actually had one couple of guys come to my door one time, and I said, I loved your play. And they just chuckled. They just like, oh, it's a great one.
If it survived Hades, we wouldn't be asking who we'd be taking over Zach Wilson.
That's actually pretty true. Yeah.
It's the truth.
It's a fact.
I don't know how Zach Wilson was good at BYU, if you want to call him good at BYU, and then he gets to the New York Jets, and
this is why we don't depend on a pro day for your scouting.
Thank you.
Lesson learned. Don't depend on one day, one outing for a pro day at a university.
Which is
what a kid can do. You don't fall in love.
Which I believe it's going to kill CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. I think it's going to kill those two because I said here, I don't think they're ready. And yet everyone is so enamored with their pro day that they're going to go 1-2 in terms of quarterbacks in the draft because Carolina is looking hard at CJ Stroud. And I believe that's the person they're going to wind up taking.
I would have thought they fell in love during the national semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
Because Stroud had a pretty good game up until the fourth quarter.
Up until the fourth period.
Yeah.
Up until the money period. That should tell you everything right there. That should tell you everything right there. Stroud was killing Georgia in the national semifinal. And then he let his foot off the pedal for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
One final question. Where do you think Stetson Bennett lands? I'll pose that to the chat as well because I'm going to do a draft special that entire weekend. And
he's definitely not a first rounder.
No.
Definitely not first round. I think he winds up between third and fourth round.
Same with Max Duggan.
Yeah.
And I'm focusing on these two because they were the national championship quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. So let me think.
So why third round for Stetson Bennett?
I think it was his age.
Okay.
I think he's all. Was he 24, 25?
24, I think.
All right.
I think he's 24. And why?
He's 25.
He's 25.
He's 25. October 1997.
And
I think he winds up with the Bills.
Really?
I think so.
Does he take over for Josh Allen?
I don't think he takes over for Josh Allen, but he'll be a steady backup. He's I think he's built for that kind of system. The only thing the Bills really need is a bell cow running back. And they didn't. If they had picked up Christian McCaffrey like I thought they should have before the trade deadline last year, it's a different result in the Super Bowl. They would have beaten Kansas City in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have. I think they would have won the Super Bowl.
You know, I can't argue that.
And actually, it's funny. Every Bills fan I talk to agrees. They said, "Yeah, we needed a running back to take the pressure off Josh Allen."
Christian McCaffrey? Why did they not make an over-the-top offer for Christian McCaffrey?
That's the thing too. He was on the cheap.
Yes,
he came on the cheap. The Panthers would have retained half that salary, and he would have been a bargain. He would have been a bargain.
Would have been, but he's a big time bargain for Frisco.
Yep.
And they're going to re-sign him for a hell of a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they're positioning themselves right now, especially with them jettisoning Garoppolo, and that was a cost-cutting move to pay Nick Bosa and Christian McCaffrey, because we got our guy in Brock Purdy. I don't care what people say about, you need to give Trey Lance a chance. Trey had his chance and he screwed it up. Now, do I wish injury on anyone? No. But Trey screwed himself with his quote unquote showcase game at North Dakota State because he didn't perform well there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't perform well there. This is Ryan McCarthy. He joins us every Monday for Coffee with McCarthy, an extended version. And I will not play that Hooked on Bronix thing again. I promise I won't. What am I talking about? Yes, I will. I know.
Come on. You know you will. You know you're gonna.
Well, hell. Let's get it out the way.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YOKAY. Real LJPN. Now approve all this.
That face with the phone number. We'll leave it there. Thanks, Ryan. Love you, brother. Appreciate it.
One more question.
Yes.
One more question for you.
Yes.
How do you feel about the first couple of days of baseball?
We split with the Astros. I'm good.
Okay.
We split. Look, we weren't even supposed to win a game in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And we bookended it. We took the first one. We took the last one. Now, the middle two, Yordan Alvarez killed us.
Yeah.
Let me just be real.
Yeah.
The world champs were the world champs in the middle two games. Yordan Alvarez killed us. But as I said after Thursday, you just might have seen a preview of the ALCS.
Okay.
Dylan Cease versus Framber Valdez. Matching each other pitch for 7 innings. Now, do we have a long way to go? Yes. But what I hope is that the Chicago Cubs lose the rest of their games the rest of this season.
The one thing about baseball season that kills me it's in the beginning, it's great because it's like, all right, it's a new season. This is great. And by October, you're ready to just
You're
get
just
out of
over
the way to the playoffs. Like, I just want to be
just
done.
over it. Yes. You're over it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're over it.
Yeah.
You're absolutely over. By the time September gets here, you're over it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, get to the finish line already. Can we see some playoff baseball? Get to the finish line already.
For sure.
Oh. What about you? What are your thoughts on opening week?
Yankees took 2 out of 3 from the Giants. The two wins were shutout wins.
Yes.
This was a great pitching performance yesterday from their rookie. Trying to remember his name off the top of my head. I watched the highlights yesterday before I went to bed.
Note the smoke coming from a couple of bald guys' heads trying to remember names.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Hold on, it's coming up. Joel Brito, Johnny Brito. They had a couple in Johnny Brito. Well, they had a. He's one of their prospects, pitching prospects. Yankees had some.
Brito and
Carlos Rendon is still injured. Luis Severino
Carlos
on the IL.
Rendon is done. I hate to say this about a former White Sox pitcher who gave us a lot of great memories in 20 and 21, but Carlos Rodon is finito. Carlos Rodon is finished. And I hate saying that because I loved watching him pitch, but he could never get his motion right. Carlos Rodon is the new version of Chris Sale.
Ooh.
And I hate saying that because they both bore Southside pinstripes.
I just hope doesn't have an injury like Sale where he falls off his bike and he breaks his wrist.
And loses 2 years.
Because of what? Tommy John. And then riding his bike and falling off and breaking his wrist.
Then falling off his bike.
Ugh.
Oh boy. Oh, yeah. I shouldn't play this next thing, so I'm just gonna usher my coffee out of here. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the time. Love you. Thanks, man.
All right, take care.
I'm going to do something I did at the top of the show, but hour 2 starts right now. Time for hour 2 of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his 3rd year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2.
The hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2.
The one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour 2. Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2. That's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2, was El Jefe.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now. 10 after the hour, and Jay Spivey will join us at the bottom of the hour, but I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while. For this segment and this segment only, if you want to come up and ask a sports question, come on up, and we'll have a discussion. Jay Spivey, as I mentioned, is due at the bottom of this hour. I will pose a question to the chat. Matter of fact, let me go to the Fanatics feedback zone right now. The link is in the chat if y'all want to come up and talk for a little bit. I would trust a current age Brett Favre over Zach Wilson. Oh, geez. Victor's with us this morning from Chicago. What's up, Victor?
What's up?
What's your question?
Well, besides pray, what do the Bears and the Cowboys need to do to return to prominence?
You just answered your own question.
Besides prayer, and lots of it.
You just answered your own question.
Jesus. Is that bad?
Come on, you're talking about a team. You're talking about two teams that basically tanked.
The only problem is that the Cowboys tanked in disguise. They said, let's tank on one of the grandest stages in the divisional round of the playoffs this past year.
They tanked as a 12-5 team.
How do you do that? Come on now.
Who are we talking about here?
It's something I was going to do if I ever got a chance to give the Cowboys a reality check. And I'm going to start with a quote from John Cena. For over
Wait. What did you say you were going to give them?
Well, I'm going to give the Cowboys, but more importantly, Cowboys fans, a reality check.
Let's do that right now. A reality check courtesy of a fan. Go with it.
I want to start with a quote from John Cena when he was talking about CM Punk. For over 20 years, Cowboys fans have clinged onto the title of America's team, and for 20 plus years, that title has become irrelevant. Year after year after year after year after year, you have let playoff game after playoff game pass you by.
Playoffs?
Yes. With minimal effort, and 2 years in a row now. Your self-inflicted wounds have caused you to watch the San Francisco 49ers, congrats to the 49ers, to go on to the conference championship game.
Playoffs? Playoffs?
It astounds me how a fan base who's supposed to be so knowledgeable at sports can sit there, look at the idiocy on the field and say, next year. We're going to go Super Bowl next year.
Why do they do that though?
I wish I knew, so I can deprogram it. And this is why I got so heated about this.
Yes.
I have been in several Cowboys forums or Cowboy videos where I sit and explain to people that the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to basically blow it up and start over. Offensively. Defensively, they're set.
Defensively, they're fine.
Defensively, they're ready to win rings now.
Defensively, they're fine.
But offensively,
they got problems.
Zeke is gone, and I don't know if it was his legal issues with the domestic violence, but he never came back the same. He was never the same.
Before that, he got paid.
Yeah, he got paid, but at least he was still putting up some numbers.
Some being the operative word. I mean, people are not going to like me for this, but Zeke hasn't been the same since his rookie year.
No, not at all. He hasn't been the same since. Dak.
Oh,
let's get into Dak.
Please do.
You know what makes?
I hear you tapping your foot.
No, this is my hand. I had to calm myself because I was
like, of course, yes, you had to calm yourself.
Dak Prescott is a mental midget of the highest order. I mean, mini me and wee man will look at Dak Prescott when he's under pressure and like, man, you real small.
Oh, geez.
There's this thing in quarterbacks that I've seen where when they hit adversity, whether it's a near pick six or interception or a sack, they tighten up, they hunker down, and they push through, and they get teams where they need to be in order to get a win.
You would think.
I mean, that's what the likes of Drew Brees, the likes of Peyton Manning, the likes of Eli Manning, the likes of Dan Marino, the likes of Steve Young, the likes of, what's that guy's name from San Francisco? Joe Montana.
Yeah, Mr. Montana.
Jim McMahon, we'll use him too.
Yeah.
You know the difference between all of them and Dak Prescott? They all have titles to their name.
They all succeeded.
They all have championship rings, something Dak has never had and probably will never have until either A, he leaves Dallas and they reprogram him, or B, they get Pennywise out of the way. To which, let's get to Pennywise.
Why do you say Pennywise every time and I just start laughing?
Because I refuse to disrespect Mr. Ryan McCarthy by letting that man have that name. I refuse to disrespect Ryan McCarthy.
Yes.
By putting Mike McCarthy, aka Pennywise, in the same sentence.
Oh, Lord.
I much rather ask you know who the ever living for a foot massage, and you know I'm not doing that.
Why are you gonna make me throw up my breakfast?
And of course, let's go to the top of the order. Gerald. I'm willing to, with the help of the City of Fifth Building Fund, set up a very lavish old folks home and put Gerald and Virginia McCaskey in the home. It could be just those two. But we need to get some people out of the way so football people can take over.
Dude, don't you need a ring for that? Don't
I
you
don't
need a
care.
wrestling ring for that?
I don't care what I need. They need to go. Mr. Snyder, him too. But
and include Mr. Spanos too, the guy who owns the Chargers.
Mr. Spanos. But this all will still revolve around the Cowboys fans, because unfortunately we can't see 2 yards in front of us like most Chicago Bear linemen can't see 2 yards in front of them.
Ouch.
We have to start thinking critically about what we need in order.
You just said the key word.
Yes.
You said the key phrase.
We need to think critically. We need a stout offensive line that can run block and pass protect, so that Dak Prescott doesn't shrink like he's in the world's smallest Hell in a Cell.
Stop. He said the world's smallest. Man, get out of here. I will talk to you later.
Thank you for allowing me that time.
That's my friend Victor from Chicago with a reality check for Cowboys fan. Thank you, Victor. I love you, buddy.
Love you too, bud.
All right, Hog TV, what you got for me?
Yes. Snowman, first and foremost, thank you so much, man. You know what? One of the men that I admire in the sports media game, along with Cole Sports with a Z. You know what, man? You two are like my uncles in sports, man. So I just want to say I love you guys. Yes, sir. You know what? I gotta go ahead and we'll just begin this by giving you guys your flowers, and second, to all my Cowboys fans that are out there, I want you to know that as a Washington fan, you all make me sick. You all make me sick because you all, at least Cowboys fans had the luxury of transitioning from Tony Romo to Dak Prescott, first and foremost.
That was a transition?
Snowman, compared to what we have been going through the last 31 years of purgatory, we've been going through quarterback blues, quarterback HE double hockey sticks.
Yes.
I mean, this is overboard, man. It's been terrible the last 31 years. All right.
Yeah, have y'all had a quarterback since Brad Johnson or Mark Rippon?
Exactly, Snowman. Exactly. And
I'm playing the original song for you. I'm not playing the new song that's out there now for your team. I'm playing the original song out there.
You're making my point. I mean, dude, it's so bad here. But you know what though? I mean, on paper, with Eric Bieniemy running the offense and things like that.
Yes.
on paper, it looks like we're trending upward, but only time will tell. Our head coach said that it takes 5 years to build a winning culture. Meanwhile, I just saw the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles get his team in the Super Bowl, within his second or third year of coaching the team?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, to my coach, miss me with that. We had to, miss me with that. Miss me with that. I'm sorry, man. Miss me with that.
I know you're speaking truth, man. You're speaking all the truth in the world.
I mean, come on, man. Because at the end of the day, it's all about seizing opportunity, and that's why,
Yes.
excuse me, to fans like Senator Cool McCain, and look, I commend him. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
commend guys like Lord Brunson and things like that, because you know what, they understand that it's all about seizing opportunities. And matter of fact, just like the 49ers, you know what I'm saying? The 49ers seizing opportunities and things like that, because year after year they're competitive. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Because who expected the 49ers to swoop in at the stroke of midnight and get Christian McCaffrey?
and get C-Mac, and they never look back. Never look back. Never look back.
So what do the Redskins do? And yes, I'm saying it correctly.
Uh-huh.
With their draft position. What do they do? How do they get back over the hump?
Yeah, so obviously we're pick number 16, and that's kind of like, in the middle of the first round.
Yes.
With and Snowman, we have a lot. Well, there's a lot of positions, that I wish that we can go ahead and excuse me. Well, in an ideal world, we can go and shore up those positions in the draft. But clearly, we're not going to be able to do that. But most, so quarterback, I don't think that we're going to draft a quarterback round one. However, can we get like the best player available as far as like an offensive lineman, or even a cornerback? Cornerback, I wouldn't be mad at. I mean, if there's a shutdown corner, but offensive lineman, cornerback, heck, even a tight end. I know. Matter of fact, I believe that there's a guy out of Notre Dame, Michael Meyer, whatever his name is.
I got a better tight end for y'all out of South Dakota State, Tucker Kraft.
Hey man, hey look, if he's anywhere close to Rob Gronkowski, Jason Kelsey,
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, or you know what? I hate to.
This
name is going to be controversial, but the late Aaron Hernandez, because all field issues aside, Aaron Hernandez was a beast on the football field.
Or George Kittle.
Or the animal George Kittle. There you go. The animal. And I learned that nickname for you, Snowman. I learned that nickname for you. It's George the Animal Kittle, man.
Well, he's an animal.
He's an animal.
George Kittle's an animal. When it comes to playing tight end.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Look, I said that on a live stream one night, and somehow it stuck.
Yeah. Look, George the Animal Kittle is a matter of fact, between him, Travis Kelce, who's your third tight end in the league as far what is it? Mark Andrews from Baltimore. Anybody
like Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia.
Or Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia. Any one of those guys right now.
Those are your four main tight ends.
Yes. You know what? If we can take two of those guys, because I have yet to see a like that tight end in Washington. I haven't seen a perennial All-Pro at quarterback here.
Haven't seen a tight end like that since either Don Warren, or Clint Didier.
Hey, Snowman, I haven't even watched those guys. The fact that you know them, you know what I'm saying? The fact that you know them, you know what I mean?
Don Warren out of San Diego State and Clint Didier out of Portland State.
Yeah.
No one expected them to make an impact, and yet they were just as big as the Hogs were, as far as impact goes for the Redskins.
There you go, man. And as a fan that has been a fan of this team the last 31 years, I'm 33 right now.
Yes.
I'm just like this. I'm tired of seeing everybody else win. Matter of fact,
I laugh out of love because I've been there, even with my beloved 49ers. I've been there. I've been there.
I'm tired of it. That's the Snowman. It's gotten bad. Whenever I hear people say, "Oh, yeah, you're the NFC beast. We're not the NFC least." I'm like, do you think that Patriots fans the last 20 something years cared about if the Miami Dolphins, and no disrespect to Ryan McCarthy,
Right?
AKA Ryan McCarthy, do you think that they cared about if the Jets won or if the Bills won?
No,
nobody. No,
they didn't.
They did. All they did was win 6 championships. Get an undefeated regular season in 2007, and
Yes.
just pummel your favorite team week in and week out.
Into the
That's
dirt.
what I want my team.
Into the dirt.
Into the dirt.
Into the dirt. Remind me of where you at, Hawk.
Yeah. So I'm in the DMV.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, preferably Baltimore. Specifically Baltimore. That is. So man. And shout out to my wife, man. We got married in October 2022. What, a month later we bought a house.
Good.
I started my job in October, and we are just trending in the right direction.
Beautiful.
I thank God for her. Matter of fact, it's a lot of things I thank God for, but she's at the top of the list. And but on that list is you guys, because you know what though, you guys week in and week out, you all help make my day Monday through Friday. You all help make my days, be as best as they could be. So Snowman, my uncle is sports. I mean, you and my dad that are similar in terms of age. So I call you my uncle in sports, but I'm like, you know what, guys, I love you, Snowman. Stay strong, snow strong. You know what I mean? And another thing is, man, don't worry about the haters. You know what I'm saying? Because the results are going to show. And I mean, and every now and then you can go ahead, take a jab at the haters. But you know what though? But only give them minimal recognition, because that's what they deserve. I mean, minimal to non-existent recognition, because the work over 500 subs. Matter of fact, to anybody that's watching and listening that are potentially new subscribers, please, you will never regret subscribing to the Snowman Multimedia channel.
I appreciate it.
And that is for sure.
I appreciate you. I love you, brother. Thanks so
Hey,
much.
Back at you, always.
That felt good. That felt really good. I got Jay Spivey coming at the bottom of the hour. We're going to pause for a break. But before we do pause for a break, I got to do this again.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YOKAY. LJPN, and I approve all this.
And I approve all of that. Jay Spivey when y'all get back.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
The f*** is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Dear God, only wise. Only wise. Jay Spivey in a couple of minutes, but let me take this time to ask you guys for help because there's a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of my cancer surgery, and doing everything I can to help my family go forward. So if y'all could support my efforts via GoFundMe, the ID you need is E283E211. The site you need is gofund.me/E283E211. And to keep a promise to my baby girl, Cheyenne, she's trying to get home too. So if y'all could help her out, that would be much, much appreciated. GoFund.me/509DEE0E. That's 509DEE0E. I want to tell you, I've had a ton of fun today. A ton. And I didn't think I'd be able to go on at all, especially when the regular time came and went, and I still wasn't feeling good at all. I still wasn't. 34 after the hour, and it's time for a few of these. And it's about that time that Jay Spivey joins us, and boy, we're going to have some fun this morning. Good morning, Jay. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to have you. Good to have you back on a Monday.
Thank you.
We're just going to dive right in. Why are the Panthers interested in CJ Stroud?
I don't understand why anybody's so enamored about any of these top quarterbacks. None of them are that good.
Thank you.
I honestly don't see any of them as being franchise quarterbacks.
I don't either. I got crucified by saying Bryce Young nor CJ Stroud nor Anthony Richardson for that matter were ready. And I got crucified for that.
Well, I mean, we all know the Panthers need a quarterback, but
Yes.
to trade their entire whatever for Stroud
For a
just,
chance,
or even Bryce Young, you're selling your soul for that?
Yeah.
It's not like it's Peyton
they're
Manning
selling their
out
soul
there.
for CJ Stroud.
It's not
I
like
don't
it's Peyton
understand why.
Manning out there or Joe Burrow or whomever else.
Exactly. No, there are no franchise quarterbacks available. And I gotta get you, I gotta get to you on this. Tell me why all of a sudden the interest is drawing toward Anthony Richardson.
I don't get that either because he hasn't proven it at all at Florida. So how's he going to prove that in the NFL?
I don't get it. I don't get why these quarterbacks are so being they're being made out to be something they're not.
I think they see something like what Jalen Hurts has done. It's still, I know Jalen Hurts had a great season, but he's still not really proven he can be a passer.
Thank you.
They see
not a
Jalen
pocket
Hurts,
passer.
and they think, well, Anthony Richardson's going to be Jalen Hurts. Well, we don't know that.
No, we don't. And we're not going to be able to tell for a couple of years yet. Because Anthony Richardson cannot come into a team and make an immediate impact. I don't
Not
see
at all. He's going to sit a couple of years probably.
And he's in the draft. Why?
And you just look at why on earth did the Packers draft Love a couple of years ago? They didn't need to.
No, they didn't.
And now you pissed off Aaron Rodgers, and now he's going to leave.
Eventually, he's going to leave because he's handcuffing two franchises.
He sure is.
He's handcuffing two franchises right now, and it just doesn't make sense to me of why he's handcuffing why he's doing this.
Out of spite. I don't think he really wants to play for the Jets, but he wants to get out of Green Bay so bad he doesn't care.
Yeah, that's the case. He should have done it after 2019, after getting embarrassed at Levi's Stadium twice.
So that goes to the 2020 draft. Why did they draft Love? There was no reason to.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
At the time, he was, 34, 35?
34.
And you drafted him for no reason? When there was nothing to show he was diminishing?
Nothing. He won an MVP in 2020.
Then you draft absolutely no offensive players, whether it be linemen, receivers, tight ends, at all.
Nothing.
Nobody.
Nothing. There was nothing.
So why are the Panthers doing this?
I guess they found something in Stroud or Young, and I'm thinking Stroud more than anybody else. They think Stroud's going to be their franchise quarterback, and you're not going to be able to measure that for a couple of years.
Well, I go back to everybody talks about Justin Fields. What has Justin Fields done that's so great?
Not a doggone thing.
Ohio State quarterbacks have not fared well in the NFL. They have not.
I mean,
I just don't see it with Justin Fields. And I certainly don't see it with CJ Stroud.
The last Ohio State quarterback of note to actually do something before CJ Stroud was Craig Krenzel. And Krenzel didn't do that much.
Look how horrible Dwayne Haskins was.
Yes. And I mentioned Craig Krenzel because Krenzel actually led them to a championship. He led them to the national championship against Miami. And the Panthers have sacrificed David Tepper again, like you always said, David Tepper.
Yep.
Have sold their soul for CJ Stroud.
Totally.
I mean, they bring in Adam Thielen, which is a great move for them. But again, I go back to who's going to throw it to him.
Yep. I mean, I told you guys last week, I think overall, other than that trade, and I know that's a big deal, I get that. But overall, I think the Panthers have had a pretty good offseason in terms of free agency.
Yes.
I really do believe that.
I believe that too. I believe that too, but you still have one huge problem to solve, and that's at the biggest position on the field.
And that huge needs to be underlined, bold-faced,
and capitalized.
I mean, they have had this issue since Superman and Newton had that one good year in 15.
And that And that was a half a year. That was a half a year where he led them to Super Bowl 50, got pummeled by the Denver Broncos, and then opening night the next year got pummeled again, and hasn't been the same since. And it's like Cole said, it was the opening game following the Super Bowl where the Broncos and Panthers played at Mile High Stadium. And Newton, if you think you got pummeled in the Super Bowl, y'all should have watched that game in Denver where he got obliterated.
And for the Panthers apologists and the Newton apologists who said he got unfair treatment, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. He got exactly the treatment that he deserved because he was supposed to be this great quarterback, and he just simply wasn't.
No, he didn't.
He just simply wasn't. And I don't know why they have there are two big problems for Carolina. First of all, who's going to throw to Adam Thielen? Second, who's going to tote the rock 30 times a game?
Well, Miles Sanders, I guess.
And they signed Miles Sanders for what? Behind a porous offensive line?
Yeah, that's another issue they have. And for what? I told you guys this a couple of years ago. They're one of the few teams in the NFL that does not have a productive tight end.
Exactly. Not since Greg Olsen retired.
And I don't see that being fixed.
I don't see that either. I mean, there's a couple of great tight ends in the draft. One out of South Dakota State, which I'm hyping up because I love the way the kid plays in Tucker Kraft, but they won't look at him. They won't look at him. And they bring in Miles Sanders for what?
Because they have nothing else, I guess.
Speaking of nothing else, baseball happened over the weekend. And the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, in terms of college baseball, the number 2 team in the nation. How come they're not getting any love from everybody else?
They're not even getting. I'm hearing what's to say on it. They're not getting any love in their own city.
Which is sad to me because the guy that's the play-by-play voice for them, Ty Collins, my good friend, is having a ball calling their games, and yet no station in the Triad area is covering them the way they need to be covered. You're talking about the number 2 team in the nation in college baseball right now.
They swept Miami the weekend before last. They just swept Clemson at Clemson this past weekend.
At Clemson.
And they play NC State here and what's to say on this weekend. And I've heard no pub, no build up, nothing at all. And they're 26-3.
And again, as we mentioned, the number 2 team in the nation, and yet they're getting no love whatsoever. None. You know, and I'm told I'm not supposed to talk about baseball on this program. Ha!
It's your show. You can talk about whatever you want.
I could ring up Ty Collins and have him come on this week to talk about those Demon Deacons.
I know Ty quite well. He would love to talk about them.
I know he would, and they're swinging the hell out of the bat right now.
They sure are, and they're getting great pitching too.
Yes, they are. The only difficult game in the last 6 that I've listened to was the opener at Clemson. That's it. The only difficult game they've had in the last 6 was the opener at Clemson, and they wind up winning that one and the rest of the series going away.
What gets me, Snowman, is that Wake for a lot of years has not recruited locally for a lot of reasons, mainly because it's so expensive to play college baseball there.
Right.
Because, as you all know, you don't get full scholarships in baseball.
Right.
Which is ridiculous.
Ridiculous to me, too.
Wake has 3 players from probably a 20 to 30 mile radius from here who get no pub whatsoever.
None.
Including their number 3 starter Saturday, who was highly recruited and could have easily gone the first round of the draft. He's from Reagan High School right here in Winston-Salem.
Mm-hmm.
They have another kid right up the road, Pilot Mountain, 25 miles from here. Seth Keener, he's also pitched. And the coach's son, Tom Walter's son, Chase, is also pitching for Wake Forest, and they don't get any pub whatsoever.
None, and none. And it's sad. It's sad that Wake Forest baseball is not getting the. And it goes back to where they ended last year playing, I believe, Texas A&M. They played Texas A&M in the regionals, and now they're the number 2 team in the nation.
I can promise you this, and they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but if this were Carolina and they were here, they would get nothing but coverage.
They would get blown up. They would get blown up coverage that they don't deserve because they haven't played the same way Wake Forest has.
And I am not going to, the paper where I used to work, I worked there for 28 and a half years, as you well know.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a ton on their plate. I get that. And I am not disrespecting them at all.
Right.
But they really kind of ignored them through the last couple of weeks, if nothing else.
Yes.
And yes. I know they were really short-staffed. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But at least do something.
Why didn't they bring you back? I mean,
please, that is not happening.
I know.
As much as I'd like to, that is not coming. That is not happening.
Yeah, it's too much like right as you and
because
I.
Because I know too much. I don't mean that negative. I mean, I know too much about too many things in sports.
Yeah.
And that bothers them that I know so much.
Gee, that explains the end of my run with the Chicago Tribune. Been there, and it's not fun.
I mean,
it's
I'm
not a fun thing.
Not that everybody else is not well rounded because
right.
we are.
Right.
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I knew about that they had no idea about, even to this point.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of stuff, and I'm being totally underutilized. And I love stringing, freelancing. I get it, but it's not the same as it used to be.
No, it's not. It's not. I freelanced for the Tribune for 5 years, and the more knowledge I gained, the quicker I was shoved out the door. And I was just covering high school sports with the Tribune.
Right.
And when their department turned over, I was sent packing.
There are only a handful of people in this state who know high school sports as well as I do. And I'm covering one team right now. One.
Yeah. We're gonna have to put a stop to that real quick. Here's a question from Ryan McCarthy. Will North Carolina get an MLB team? And if so, which city is the best to host one, Charlotte or Raleigh?
As much as I would like that, and I've heard a lot of rumors saying as much, I just don't see Charlotte getting a Major League Baseball team because I think Nashville's going to get one, and then probably a West Coast team.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Vegas is the most likely team.
Yeah, Vegas is more than likely.
What I think is going to happen at some point, I don't think there's any question that Montreal is going to get a team back. So you're going to look at 2 teams for sure. I don't know how that's going to work, but I just don't see Charlotte getting a team. And plus, the Braves are going to fight that hard if Charlotte gets a team.
Yeah.
They're just going to fight that hard.
Yeah.
Because, Charlotte's only about 3.5 hours away from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so they're going to fight that hard.
Yeah. If Montreal gets a team back, and I see that happening too, will they be called the Expos?
That's what they should call them.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, apparently they're clamoring for a team up there, and all the major issue up there for years was that stadium. Well, that's not going to be
Olympic Stadium.
Apparently, they already have all the planning and the resources for the new stadium now, so that's not even an issue.
And now
they should have moved the Rays up there, but that's too late now. Apparently, should have moved the Rays up there
because that ballpark in St. Petersburg is horrible.
Horrible.
Tropicana Field is horrible. I've seen it once, and I will like Wrigley Field. I'll never go back.
And I think and I know that Nashville's fairly close to Atlanta too, but Nashville's got a lot more pull than Charlotte does, I think.
Absolutely, they do. Absolutely, they do.
And Nashville's really big. And they're building a new football stadium. They just announced that a couple months ago, which is going to have all kind of, not just football, but all kind of acts. And they're probably going to get the Super Bowl there eventually, I would imagine.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, Nashville's a great city. It really is.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to draw a Super Bowl there.
Oh,
when they build they build the new stadium, they're going to draw a Super Bowl there.
It's not going to be just a music capital of the world. It's going to be there's going to be a lot of sports going on there.
It's going to be a sports capital. And you know Chicago's trying to do the same thing, move to Arlington Heights so they can draw a Super Bowl there, and that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life.
They should never leave the city of Chicago.
And yet they're going to. Within 2 years, they're going to leave. They're going to leave Chicago, and it's stupid. It's stupid. Make the improvements to Soldier Field that you should have made the first time you expanded Soldier Field.
Yeah,
the first time you expanded Soldier Field when the Bears left to go to Champaign in 2002. That is when the dome should have been in place. It should have been in place then, and all of the amenities that are necessary that you're proposing in this new rebuild should have been in place then.
George Hallis has to be rolling over in his grave that they're even contemplating leaving Chicago. And his daughter is the key person here.
Yes.
He has to be rolling over in his grave that she's doing this.
Mm-hmm. And not blinking about it either. Not blinking about it. Is it kind of the same when your Braves left Fulton County?
I don't think listen, that's like the thing that people don't want to talk about. This like everybody knows about.
Yeah,
they left that area. They had two stadiums basically right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
When they left Fulton County, they moved right next door because of the Olympics, and then they kept whining and complaining that they had to get out of downtown Atlanta because it was hurting their crowd. Well, that's not really the issue. There's no transportation, but to me, it was more of a racial issue. They want to get out of downtown Atlanta because the core of their fans don't live in downtown Atlanta.
Right.
So they moved to Cobb County, 20 miles away, and there's really nothing there other than, of course, they built this, what they call, what do they call it up there? Oh, the battery in Atlanta. So, I mean, it's just kind of like a little entertainment facility they built around the stadium now.
Yeah. It's an entertainment facility they built around.
Now everybody's trying to do similar stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's having similar stuff done now. They're supposed to be expanding New Comiskey Park to bring that attendance back over 40,000 or 42,000.
Well, Reinsdorf, when they built that stadium initially, when all these other nice stadiums are being built, kind of the retro stadiums like Camden Yards and all those other ones, they built a stadium that kind of resembled like the one in the 70s and 80s.
No,
and that's not going to appeal to people in Chicago.
No, it's not.
When you got one of the most iconic stadiums in the world in Wrigley Field, and then you have New Comiskey.
The last time I was at New Comiskey Park, Scott Podsednik walked off in Game 2 of the World Series. And that was the loudest I ever heard that joint. Ever. I haven't been back. And I don't think I'm going to go back.
Trust me, because the White Sox high A minor league team is here and wants to sell them. I cover a lot of their players coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how much talent they have.
Yeah.
And for Chicago it's always going to play second fiddle in that city. I don't care how sorry the Cubs are.
Yeah.
But nobody really backs the White Sox unless you live on the South Side.
And it's true. It's true. I've had so many people ask me, why am I a White Sox fan? I lived on the South Side.
Right.
Most of my life.
Right.
Most of my life I lived on the South Side. That's not leaving. There's 3 generations of White Sox fans. My grandpa, my dad, and me. And they have the most recent division title, 2021. But you know what? The Cub fans are going to scream, well, we have the most recent World Series title. Well, how long did it take y'all to get that?
Right. It's the same thing in like New York. The Jets will always play second fiddle to the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
The Angels, even though they're not really in LA, despite what they want to tell you, they will always play second fiddle to the Dodgers. And the Clippers will always play second fiddle to the Lakers.
And the Angels are wasting 2 generational talents.
That is an understatement too. Wasting.
They're wasting two generational talents in Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani.
They're the 2 best players in baseball, and they're just being totally wasted.
It's like you said about Justin Herbert. The Chargers are wasting Justin Herbert the same way the Angels are wasting Ohtani and Mike Trout.
Right.
And how can a team be so greedy to waste generational talent like that?
Well, the Chargers, for the most part, have always done that. The Spanish family's been crazy.
That they have.
Look at the idiot they have for head coach right now.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. And then they kept him on this year for some unknown reason.
And they choked away a 27-0 lead in Jacksonville. That should have been a walk-away win, and they blew it.
And they had every chance to fire him and didn't fire him.
2 years.
But yet they fired Marty Schottenheimer years ago for no reason.
For none whatsoever, because he took him to a 12-4 record and didn't do much in the playoffs, and so they cut him. They fired him.
The best coach they've ever had, other than Coryell. And you go fire him for no reason.
The only other name you could put in that group is Bobby Ross, because he took him to Super Bowl 29.
True, that's true.
Only other coach you could put in that conversation is Bobby Ross, and because he went into Pittsburgh and beat them
for
the AFC Championship in 1994.
Sure did.
Boy, the crazy stuff that surrounds sports right now. Jay Spivey joins us as he does every single Monday at the bottom of hour 2. Thank you, Jay, so much, my friend. Great talking sports with you as always, and I'll see you next Monday.
Thanks, Snowman. Have a great week.
Thanks, man. And now with all that being done, I'm going to blow this joint. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. I promise I'm going to get a full night's sleep tonight, and I'll be back at my regular time tomorrow. So long, everybody.